Hey guys, I'm gonna chill out with Sub-07 and welcome back to Let's Play Super Monkey Ball 2. Last time, we took ourselves to the sky for a round of monkey dogfight, and that was a trip. But this time, back to main game for challenge mode. Now, unfortunately, as crazy as this sounds, I'm gonna be doing the same thing that I did for Monkey Ball 1, where, against my better judgment, Baby is handling expert mode, but Gon is gonna handle master mode. Lives already maxed out at 99. Let's do this. Now I gotta say, there's a lot of stuff that I actually have to talk about for once, which is quite nice, aside from just the game itself, so we're gonna have a lot to discuss. Mainly the fact that I suck. No. But the big issue that I want to bring up, I mention every so often that Monkey Ball as a series has sort of struggled to retain its identity. Like after the first couple of games, the series really just kind of fell down a hole. And for the longest time, I didn't actually know why exactly, because I also fell off the series after the second game. Like, we owned Banana Blitz. I think we played it like a whopping one time, though, and that was it. So anything after that, you got me, boss. But no, recently, I actually just opted to pick up a copy of Step and Roll, just out of curiosity's sake, because I'd heard about the game, and I heard, oh, that's that weird game that you can actually play with the fucking Wii balance board. And then I decided to play it. Lord, that game sucks. I was not expecting a good game. I was still disappointed. Like, I see now why people say Monkey Ball has been through a dark age for most of its life cycle, because God, if more games are like that than one or two, I am deeply offended. Because that game does basically every cardinal sin of Monkey Ball. It's very slow, you're stuck with motion controls, which that was not a good thing in Banana Blitz either. And the entire game just feels like it was designed specifically to try and make you wait for the clock. Like, I don't understand it. Like, even the music's not that great, and that's for a game in 2008. There was a lot of great games in 2008 or 7. I don't remember which year exactly, but there was a lot of good games that time. Step and Roll was not one of them. Regardless, this is a partition. This is the bonus stage for Expert. Let's take the teleporter here. We haven't really seen these too often, aside from Expert mode stages and story mode, so it's nice to see them get some other use. I don't know exactly how much use we're going to get out of these stages in particular, because Expert is pretty dang hard, but we're going to try our best. Nice. Next stage. Now, unlike beginner and advanced, we actually go straight to boiling pot. We skip over the amusement park entirely in this mode. Unfortunate, but what can you do? Alright, goal is right here. Nearly missed it, but we'll take it. And zoom. Zigzag slope, easy enough. But yeah, just based on that recollection of Step and Roll, God, no wonder people had such a bad taste in their mouth for this series for so long. Especially after shit like Adventure, which I have played, and fuck me, Adventure is a terrible game. Wanna know how bad that game is? It's so bad that the devs themselves don't want you to play it. Because if I remember correctly, that was Traveler's Tales that worked on that game. A former Traveler's Tale employee heard, or like caught wind of people on a forum mentioning they might want to play the game again, just to try it out. They specifically said, don't do it. It's not worth it. I think that speaks volumes for a game's quality if the devs themselves are telling you not to play the game. Because good God. But it's kind of deeply upsetting to me knowing that for a long time Monkey Ball really struggled to have any sort of identity. Like, you had an identity set with the first 3 games. Why'd you run away from it? I get the game's hard and very challenging for a lot of people, but you can be hard and be good. Why do you think people fucking like Dark Souls so much? Well, maybe that was because Monkey Ball was before its time in that regard. Like, I don't know. Like, people give so much praise to Dark Souls for being, quote, challenging. But Monkey Ball did it better, in my opinion. At least the first couple of games did. It's like Dark Souls, I feel like you're banging against a wall with a suit of bricks. Here, it's so fast and frantic that I think it works really well. But this is Pachinko. Your nightmares about Konami aside, this is not too bad of a stage, so long as you're just careful with the bumpers. Case in point. Alright, right to Clock Tower Factory. Always nice to see this aesthetic pop up. Let's hit that normal speed switch, though, just for safety. I'm pretty much going to be playing this the way I normally play this from now on, because speedrun strategies from World 10 of story mode and for expert mode are really fucking hard, and I don't feel compelled to try and show them off too much because the average player is not going to know what to do. I struggle to know what to do, and the fact that I nailed arthropods skip is enough for me, honestly. There we go. But yeah, just Monkey Ball struggled to have an identity. I did hear that one game in the series, like later on, was actually pretty good. I can't confirm or deny this because I never played it, but if anyone has played Banana Splits on the Vita, can you vouch for me on this? I never played Banana Splits because I just didn't own a Vita, because why the hell would I own a Vita? But yeah, apparently that was one of the better titles. It actively tried to be more like the original games, which I appreciate that. Brandished. I can't use my trick to look at the fish for this one, so I'm gonna have to aim for the cogs and hope for the best. Still works. Nice. Tears, oh god. But yeah, just every time, it always feels like Monkey Ball just didn't have a plan in mind. I know that some people will always argue that, like, creator does it best, and if I remember correctly, Toshihiro Nagoshi, the series creator, didn't really work on a lot of these games after the first couple installments because he was busy with other things. But I don't know, just always upsets me. Then again, maybe I'm also mildly biased because, you know, the studio that makes Monkey Ball is also the studio that makes Yakuza, which is way more popular and way more relevant than Monkey Ball has ever been in its entire life. Yes, I am bitter. A little bit more. Come on, baby, you can do it. There we go. Nice. We're actually skipping a lot of stages here. I wasn't expecting this today. Because I tried doing a practice run earlier today, and man, it sucked. But you know what? I think we can work with this. Head this way. I should also note as well, like, this is something that I think is actually kind of common for a lot of Sega IPs. A lot of people ask for, like, revivals of series and the like, and sometimes they'll take matters into their own hands, like, say, Jet Set Radio getting Bomb Rush Cyberfunk as its spiritual successor. Monkey Ball technically does have one of those. If you've heard of a game called Rolled Out on Steam, that's kind of what is meant to be the, quote, Monkey Ball Sonic Mania. At least that's what they're going for. I don't know how much I believe that necessarily, but that's what they're going for, essentially their own fan game, essentially, evolving into another spiritual successor. I've played Rolled Out, and it's okay. I don't think it's great, though. Like, something about the original two games and their control is just so tight. I think it's really hard for a lot of games to replicate it. And Rolled Out feels really mid at times. Not terrible, just mid. Though to be fair, that's a game in early access, so I can't be too harsh to it. This is Earthquake. The moment you hit that button, the stage starts to tilt left and right, making the bananas slide all over the place. This one's actually really annoying if you want to try and get bananas, so, good luck. Like, look at how annoying this is. Ah, screw it, I'll just aim for the goal. Get me out of here. But yeah, I've played through all the difficulties I've rolled out that are currently available. This is being recorded in early 2023 as a reference. I think the game's okay. Music, I think, could use some work, though, because, man, some of those tracks I am not a fan of at all. Like, they sound like they're just trying too hard. I do appreciate the customization, though. Like, that's a neat aspect, and I'm glad that some entries for both later Monkey Ball and for fan games do that sort of thing, because I think that's a cool idea. Though I suppose if you want to get your fill of Monkey Ball, there's always Monkey Ball fan hacks, because there are surprisingly a number of fan hacks for Monkey Ball 2, and they're pretty good from what I've heard. I haven't played any myself, but I hear good things about them all the time. Next stage. Like, I don't know, maybe I'm just jaded from Monkey Ball struggling to have relevancy for a long time, but I don't know. Ooh, got a bit of a cough going. Let's see if we can't just line up for this. Yes, we can, but I shouldn't be focusing on that too much. Like, this is not an all bananas run, what am I thinking? That actually is something I've seen as it challenges the can you get all bananas in Monkey Ball 2. Physically, hell no. Like, it's impossible to do that for certain stages. I'm looking at you, Coaster. But you can do it for a surprising amount of stages that I didn't believe that you could. I'm probably not going to get this, but we're going to try and clip anyway. Nope, completely missed it. Now we gotta wait a cycle. But yeah, just, it's upsetting to me because Monkey Ball 1 and 2 are some of my favorite games, and the fact that the series just never got back to that high ground is upsetting. I, like, could make the argument that part of the reason why it just never felt as good was because they were running off arcade hardware for the original 2 games. Which, arcade hardware did a lot back then, because that was still back when arcade hardware was better than console hardware, but man, I just don't know. Like, it's hard for me at times. For now, let's take this. Though I suppose that also comes into my gripes with Banana Blitz HD and Banana Mania. Because I think Banana Mania is a good game. God, you should not have used Unity as an engine. You have your own proprietary engine. I know you do. You have the Dragon engine. You use it on Virtua Fighter. Do not act like you couldn't just use that and experiment with it for a Banana game. Like, I would pay money, a lot of money, to see Monkey Ball in the Dragon engine. That would be hilarious. Because, like, Capcom works with their RE engine for all kinds of projects that aren't just Resident Evil. Why can't Sega do that with the Dragon engine? I'd be interested in seeing that. Maybe Unreal if you're really crazy, but I don't know. I don't know how well Unreal does cartoony stuff. Like, I've dabbled with game development, of course. I've told you, I think I've mentioned a couple times that I've majored in college for game design, but there's a difference between making games and knowing how they're made. To be fair, but man, you learn a lot about the process when you just talk to actual experts in the field. And one of the hard parts is always picking a good engine for it. Unless you're doing it, like, from scratch, which that comes with its own problems. Alright, one more to get out of Flock. Come on, baby, we can do this. I suppose the one really funny thing about Banana Mania that I will always give them credit for, though, well, 2 things, actually. Like, I think Banana Mania is a solid game. It's not as good as 2, but I think it's better than 1, objectively speaking. Whoa, 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 catch yourself. The thing I think is fun about Banana Mania is just how many characters they just threw into the game, including just random-ass guest characters. Like, I think it's really funny and a good idea to have other guests join the fray. Like, we got Sonic and Tails for, of course, Sonic. We got Kiryu from the Yakuza, Beat from Jet Set Radio. Just a bunch of weird oddball ones, and I think that's a fun time. Plus, in some cases, their stats are different, which I think also adds to the replayability. I do kind of wish that the main game was, you know, 4-player again as an option, but what can I do? Like, story mode and challenge mode being separate so that you can play challenge mode with 4 people, I think is a much more fun time. But apparently not many Monkey Ball games after this one did that, which upsets me. I gotta know, it's just part of the fun for me for Monkey Ball was that Monkey Ball was always a 4-player game, whether it was mini games or the main game. But regardless, we're gonna kill ourselves. God damn it. I'm actually playing better than I thought I would for Expert, though, because Expert can really take its toll on you if it really feels like it. So far, things are not that bad. I shouldn't be saying anything because, you know, tempting fate, but that's fine. We're gonna actually drop down a stage so I can show off stage 30's bonus stage. This is banana hunting. Technically speaking, this is one of the weirder ones. We're on one of those platforms that bounces you up. And this is how you just grab bananas. This is a weird decision for banana collecting, but you know what? I'm not mad. I'm just confused. But that's my natural state of being, so we're fine. There it is. We haven't actually seen volcanic magma at all in challenge mode, so the first time it pops up is in the 30s of expert mode. Kind of surprising. There we go. Let's make a run for it. This stage always feels like it's tougher than it is, but it just, I don't know, maybe it's more visually terrifying. You just gotta make sure you line yourself up in a nice safe spot and you'll be safe. Soft cream, here we go. Oh, and the other fun thing I forgot to mention about Banana Mania. Like, I don't know what compelled them to do this, but I am so glad that they did it. They added DLC for the game in the form of GameCube-era model skins for the first 4 monkeys, which is hilarious. but also you can have the original soundtrack back in 1 and 2 if you do that, which is perfect. Because the remixes / new tracks for Banana Mania, they're fine. I think they're actually not that bad. But I'm so glad there's an option to have the original soundtrack, because I know that was a big point of contention for Banana Blitz HD, was that there was no original soundtrack with the exception of, I think, Smooth Sherbet, World 3, because of copyright issues. But apparently they did a better job holding onto the copyright for Monkey Ball 1 and 2. At least a little bit. Entangled Path, though. Here we go again. I think I'm gonna opt to skip the green goal here, if only because I'm just not used to it. Wait for it, wait for it. There we go. But yeah, I'm not necessarily a developer. I want to be a developer of games at one point or another, but I feel like the only way I'm ever gonna get there is if I really sit my ass down and work on coding, which, God. That is the worst and most important part of game design, is learning how to code. Coding sucks, however. Like, I don't know if you know this. Coding is the worst. At least as far as I'm concerned. Because coding feels like you're learning another language, but the language changes the rules on you every 5 minutes. That's how it feels like to me. Totters. Whoa, God. Yeah, Totters I always felt was like a deceptively easy stage. This stage can trip you up if you're not careful with it. Like, just do that. Vortex? I think I know what to do. Well, yeah, now that I think about it, there's only a couple Monkey Ball games I haven't actually played myself. Like, I don't know why. For the most part, the series kind of stayed on handheld, which I don't think is a good spot for it. I suppose it's also my biases speaking. Whoa, God. But, like, aside from the first 6 actually, 6 was the one. 6 games on the main consoles, which was 1, 2, Deluxe, Adventure, which we don't speak about, Banana Blitz, and Step and Roll. Like, the handhelds had Junior, Touch and Roll, I think was the name of it. 3D on 3DS, which I've never played, and I didn't hear anything about, so probably wasn't that great. And Banana Splits, I believe, is the other one. There was a couple mobile games as well, but no one really said anything about those either. Like, I don't know. I'm just happy the series is back, and I hope that if they make a new title that isn't just a remake, it'll be more like the style of 1 and 2. The new guy in charge of Monkey Ball seems to actually have a grasp on what made the original games good, so I can appreciate that. But I don't know. Like, you never know until you find out. Wow. That's actually the first time I messed up green goal. Oh well. But yeah, if I remember correctly, there was interviews with the guy in charge of Banana Mania. I forget his name for the life of me, though. Put the name on screen if you could, please. He mentioned that he always felt that, like, the series was at its best with 1 and 2, which, yes. And I'm glad that someone who's actually in a seat of power understands that. Which I think was probably the reason and motivation for why we got Banana Mania. Because I don't know. Like, they definitely know that 1 and 2 were the better games of the series. Part of me thinks the reason why we got a remake of Banana Blitz first was to sort of test the waters. At least that's my guess. Because my guess was, if they were going to do a remake, they wanted to make sure that the remake was good first, and that they were also not botching a fan favorite. So that's why 1 and 2 were not done first. That's my fan theory, at least. I don't know. It's just kind of hard to tell what Sega does at times, because Sega... I don't think Sega knows what Sega does half the time. This is the company that kills, like, 90% of their IPs. Ugh. Like, honestly, it's really upsetting being a Sega fan. I was like, what do we got in terms of series that Sega actually cares about? We've got remakes of games like House of the Dead, Panzer Dragoon, Monkey Ball's got remakes. We got ports of stuff, which is like Jet Set Radio always gets ports, but we never get Future because they can't because of copyright problems. Crazy Taxi sometimes gets a port, but you don't really see that series pop up at all anymore. Like, Sega sits on, I want to say, a veritable goldmine of just great games and IPs, and they do nothing with, like, half of them. Which is really frustrating. Because I swear, when they just give up on trying to be, quote, corporate and just do their own weird, eccentric things, Sega's awesome. That's kind of why I feel the Dreamcast era for Sega was their best. Because they were just doing weird experimental stuff, and it was awesome. Anyway, this is Fighters. Shoutouts to Virtua Fighter. The funny thing about this stage, the stage itself actually starts a fight. There's a button in the back here that if you press it, the two fighters will straight up start beating the crap out of each other. And if you've ever played Virtua Fighter, it's pretty funny to watch. I suppose another game to add to the list of IPs that Sega doesn't give a shit about, really, is Virtua Fighter. It's really hard to collect bananas in this bonus mode, so we're gonna ignore them, though. Yeah, like, Virtua Fighter did get its remake of 5, which I think is nice, but outside of remakes and, like, every so often a soft reboot, you don't see many series come back from Sega. Serial Jump. We are back inside the whale for the end of Expert, which, that's fitting. Uh-oh. Watched it. Like, I don't know. I just always appreciate when Sega does their weird, interesting IPs, because they do have awesome games when they really put their minds to it. I really think Soccer Wars is fun. Monkey Ball's great. Rhythm Thief and the Emperor's Treasure, Skies of Arcadia. There's all kinds of great games that Sega does. I just wish they knew that they made great games, because I don't think they know. Oh, fuck. Okay, we really gotta buckle down for this. Come on, game. Like, I'm singing your praises, Monkey Ball. Don't fight me. Well, I suppose Serial Jump always was a stage that kind of gave me trouble. This is one of the more challenging stages. And while I did it pretty well in story mode, that does not necessarily mean it's an easy stage. Because you can do great in one stage your first attempt, do horrible in it later attempts. Cross floors. But yeah, I would pay a lot of money if I got Monkey Ball back in the style of these kind of games with 4-player for main challenge mode. I would be really happy. Like, I'll still buy the series to support the devs, but I will give a lot of criticism when I can because I want the games to be as good as they can. I'm not just gonna sugarcoat it. Uh-oh. Spinning sock. There we go. Stage normally doesn't give me trouble, so I'm kind of surprised. Chipped pipes. I'm gonna take the green goal because I just want to skip out on having to do dynamic maze or flat maze because I hate that stage. That stage sucks. Like, flat maze is such a long and boring stage that I would much rather do chipped pipes here. You can actually make that jump from the green goal down to the blue goal if you really put your mind to it. I don't know why you would, but you can. Alright, guillotine. I do suppose while we're doing this, I can discuss a different company for once, because it gets tiring, dunking on Sega. One thing I actually will bring up, I've been playing a lot of Scarlet version, like Scarlet and Violet came out recently. That game, I got issues with that game, but only in the bugs department. Like, in terms of the actual game, I think Scarlet and Violet might be the best games in the series in a long time. Which, I don't know how to feel about that. That your most bust-ass game is also one of your best. And then again, maybe that's how people feel about Mario Sunshine. Because Scarlet and Violet is a lot of fun. Just a shame that it's got all those goddamn frame drops, clipping out of bounds, game crashing, all that other jazz. There's a lot. It's a lot. Like, I don't got any issue with people who enjoy Scarlet and Violet. The games, I think, are really fun. It's just that, technically speaking, they're a mess. Though I suppose it also doesn't help that I've been having amazing shiny luck with those games. Like, I went out my way to look for one shiny, and then I also managed to happen to stumble across 5 others. My luck, everybody. That's just kind of how it goes for me. Like, my friends question my luck at times. I think I just have a nat luck stat that's like 18 out of 20 or something. It's not perfect. I can't just always win, but man, my luck's really good when it wants to be. Orbiters, this stage is easy. So long as you don't insult it. Like that. Almost paid for that, but that's fine. Twin Basin, we got this. Honestly, the hardest part about this stage is just making the first jump. Like, look at how tight that is. I never understood that. I will say as well, a cool thing about Banana Mania that I really appreciate, they added other modes for challenge to the game, like collecting all the bananas in a stage, or adding dark bananas that if you touch them, you lose the stage instantly. Like, that's a good way to add replayability to a remake, and I'm glad that that's an option in the remakes. Because, like, if you're gonna remake a game, at least add some extra content. Don't just slap a new coat of paint over it, because that's not interesting. Anyways, Expert Extra actually managed to do air hockey first try, which I appreciate. Welcome back to space. This is charge. Now, what does it mean by charge? It means the military method. Charge! There is a tiny bump on the edge of these. Your job is to just start picking up a lot of speed. And I do mean a lot of speed. So that eventually you can just clear that jump. Oh god, did not get enough speed. You need to be going at least 100 miles an hour to clear that gap, so just barely was not fast enough. Like, we're gonna be taking a few runs of this just to pick up speed. Uh-oh. Nope. That was not good. Come on, we can do this. Oh, wow, clipped off the teleporter. That works. I will take that. I don't think I've ever seen someone do it that way, but I'll take it. Anyway, this is Strata. We're essentially... God damn it. We're essentially going to be dropping down onto increasingly more narrow paths. So, just try and line yourself up every time you drop down. There is a green goal here, but you got to be on a really narrow path to get it. Or drop down very carefully if you're good about it. Use the bananas to guide yourself on where you're supposed to drop. Just a little bit further. Hold back. This is part of the reason as to why I'm both kind of glad that we're using Baby for this and kind of upset. Because since we're doing it this way, I'm saving Gone Gone for Master Mode, and that's just not going to be easy. I did go out of my way to do a bit of practice for Monkey Ball 2 in that regard so that I wouldn't hurt myself like I did with Gone Gone for Monkey Ball 1 Master. This is puzzle. Aim top right, just immediately. That's where the goal always goes. It's on a preset path. But yeah, I feel like I'm more prepared for Master Mode in this game, at least. Because Master Mode in 1, I think, is a lot harder, despite having less stages. This is Giant Swing. This one is really scary your first time doing it, and it still kind of is scary for me. This thing is moving in a very set path. Your job, essentially, is to bounce off of it and use that momentum to carry yourself all the way across. Like, I need to wait for a very specific moment when it comes back in order to really maximize... Oh, crap. Yeah, like, it's moving on a set pattern, so I needed to... come back. Nope, that's not what I wanted. We might run out of time on this one. This one is actually pretty stressful. Here we go. Okay. We made it. Nice. Get in the goal. First try. Oh boy, 5 drums. This one's really tough. Your objective is to get on the side of one of these things and work your way up. These things move faster and faster the higher up you go. And they got barriers protecting them, so you gotta really hoof it if you want to make it in time. Or that can happen. Ooh! Saved me. But that's not gonna save me. And once again, I'm just continually impressed by the level variety and how distinct all the stages are in Monkey Ball 1 and 2. Like, that's a point that I will definitely give against shit like Step and Roll. Step and Roll! I barely remember any of the fucking stages in that game. Like, they all blend together with their level aesthetic, and they all are just, well, we made a stage, but we boxed it in. We added a bunch of obstacles. That's it. Like, I don't remember any of the stage layouts because none of them are interesting. Oh, God. Saved it. Nice. Like, the only stage I remember at all from Step and Roll was one of the bonus stages that was the Nazca lines, because I love the Nazca lines, but that was a waste of the Nazca lines. That was a really interesting idea to use for a stage, and you botched it. I hate you. This is 3-throw, or 3-throw. Free throw. I overshot. We're dead. Pretty much the idea here, you're gonna launch yourself skyward and just try and land in one of the basketball hoops. We're just trying to Kobe it. Hit him with the Kobe Bryant. Rest his soul. I may not be a basketball fan, but even I respect him. Come on, get in the goal. Tug back a little bit. Nah, damn it. This one can really trip you up, though, if you're not used to the timing for it. Up we go. Here we go again. Stay on target. Stay on target. Damn, nothing but net. Let's go. Boom. All right, pendulums. Oh god, pendulums. We're gonna go back to singular speed. I do find it funny that there's very few stages that actually have double speed and just double speed. I don't know why, I just find it entertaining to me. Okay, wait for this to loop back. Like, there's a lot of pendulums here you gotta watch out for. They take turns swinging back and forth, but the scary part is that they can do that. They just switch places with each other. Alright, you're gonna come back. And you're gonna come back in just a second. Ah! I hesitated too much. Like, I gotta get into a nice rhythm for these ones. Now, the fun thing I can note about this, actually, we're actually about to understand the method to unlock Master Mode in this game. Master Mode is unique in this, in that it is its own selectable difficulty, which is not something you really see in Monkey Ball. Because in 1, it was not like that at all. In 1, it was more you just had to get there. And you can't actually get them outside of practice mode. But for this game, it is its own selectable difficulty. You unlock that difficulty and just the ability to play Master Mode stages in general by clearing Expert without using a Continue and clearing Expert Extra without using Continue. Same method as how it was for Monkey Ball 1. This time, though, we don't have to worry about that because since you can buy lives in the shop, you don't got to worry at all about that. But this is Conical Slider. This one is kind of nuts. We are taking a downward fall, and we are going to roll all the way down, build up speed, and then make a jump. Hang on. The path will get smaller as we progress downward, so keep your mind focused on this. We get narrower and narrower, just harder to keep control of because it's winding up together. Uh-oh. Stay on target. Stay on target. There we go. Nice. Now, these last few stages really can get kind of crazy. Like this one. This is construction. Essentially one giant maze, and the goal is in the back of it. So here's what I'm going to try and do. I'm going to try and push this back, give myself a lot of room, and go. There's a very specific path you should be taking in order to maximize your speed for this. Do it like this, forward and back. Go a little bit farther. Gotta really pick up a lot of speed for this. Like, there's a lot you gotta do, and you don't have much time. Because once it gets steep enough, you're not gonna be able to catch it. I tried to cut a corner. That's what cost me. Alright, we've dipped under 80 lives, but that's okay. Well, actually, no, we're at 80 exactly, and now we're at 79. Because I keep forgetting that it's the lives in reserve that's up on the top right, not how many lives you have total. Because this game does treat 0 as a, quote, life. At least in that regard. I don't know if there's any particular, like, tricks for doing expert mode and challenge mode with the extra stages. Because, really, the only speedrun that I consistently follow for this game is story mode. And they don't have to deal with the extra stages of advanced or expert. So, I don't know what the tricks are for this. I guess I could technically look up Ultimate for Monkey Ball Deluxe, because that features every stage. But I think some strategies are different for that game because it controls differently. Final stage for Extra Expert, Train Worm. This one is really weird. You gotta follow this worm and try and catch the goal by getting in between it. Alright, let's see, where are you coming from? Ah, damn it. So close. Let's see if we can't just do this. Nope, just barely. Like, this stage is hard. hella hard. But so long as you can just line yourself up with the shot. Whoa, God! Okay, be careful. Ah, damn it. Like, this stage can really mess with you if you're not used to just being able to line up a good shot. Because there are stages that are also kind of similar to this that we'll be seeing in Master Mode. Just keep that in mind. Like, a lot of either pause buffer strategy stages or stages where you really got to know a specific timing to land in there. I do actually know the pause buffer strategies for those ones, though, so those are actually not too bad. Oh my god, come on. Hold still. Where are you going? Damn. This thing is not messing around today. Like, it usually doesn't, but still got it! That is expert. However, since we cleared expert without using a continue, it will try to send us straight to master mode. Go to the master stage. Sorry to say, baby, it is not your time today. Which means you guys are going to just get a preview of what's to come. This is Master 1 Centrifugal. Let's get out of here. But yeah, that does it for expert mode. Always a good time, even if it's pretty challenging. With that being said, next time on Let's Play Super Monkey Ball 2, it is time for the final world of story mode, Dr. Bad Boon's Base. Till next time, ice out.